Hi, thanks for joining my channel. Today I am doing an update that will include 4 months on the weight loss medication Wegovy. So it is an update of weeks 15 through to 20. So it's not going to be a super long update because there were a few things within those weeks. But anyway, we'll get down to it. So for week 15, I was still on 0.5 milligram dosage, and that was the sixth injection at that amount. And I started at 77.9 kilos. And remembering that last week's update, which was week 14, I'd had a few weeks where I had hit a plateau. So remembering that, this week was started for week 15, started at 77.9, ended at 77.3, so a loss of 0.6. So that was a total loss of for my whole entire time up to the end of week 15 of 8.9 kilos, which is still really great. So I'd started to lose weight again, which, is super exciting. As anyone knows, it doesn't matter what sort of weight loss journey you're on or what you're trying, it is really difficult when you hit a plateau, and you've got to try so hard to not let it get into your head and look for other ways to praise yourself for what you are doing and to stay on track, which is what my previous videos were about, of what I was trying to do, that exact thing, look for other positives. So then we go into week 16. So that was still 0.5 milligrams of the injection dosage. So that would have been the seventh injection. And I started 77.3 kilos. And at the end, 77.8. So I put back on half a kilo, 0.5. But I need to point out that that particular week was Christmas and New Year. That exact week for me was from the 25th of December through to the 31st of December. So really, to be honest, I didn't let that get to me. I was just hopping on the scales to, record it down, but I wasn't going to let it get into my head because Christmas is Christmas and New Year's New Year. So moving on to week 17, which, was basically from the 1st of January 2025. My starting weight was 77.8 kilos. My ending weight was 76.8 kilos. So that was a loss of 1 kilo. So we'd sort of gone, and finally for this one, we had a loss of a kilo. So that took the total loss up to week 17, 9.3 kilos. So that was a big week for me because that was the first time that I hit the 76s for the kilos, and it was the first time that I hit over 9 kilos of weight loss. So, not only was it great after coming out of the plateau, looking like I'd, gotten through the plateau and then hitting Christmas and New Year and coming over the other side of it and actually getting a few of those firsts of hitting a certain amount of kilos that I'd hit, in the 76s, and, hitting the more than 9 kilos, which was friggin' awesome because, from the very beginning, before I'd even decided to hop onto weight loss medication, I always had, for some reason in my head, oh, if I could just lose 10 kilos, even though I knew that the way that things are, BMIs and all of that are basically say that, I probably needed to lose 30 kilos, thereabouts. But for myself, for my health and how I would feel within myself, 10 kilos up, and that was still this, random number that I really never thought that I would ever achieve. And for that week, for me to hit the 9.3 and to be so close to my 10 was just like out of control, exciting, just insane. So then we hit week 18. So that was okay. So, week 17, the one that we just did, that was my last injection on 0.5 milligrams. So week 18, which is, that start of January period, that was my first 1 milligram injection. And it's also when I hit 4 months of taking Wegovy. So, a few big things happening here. So, at the start of the week, I was 76.8 kilos. The end of the week, I was 75.9. So, that was a loss of 0.9. And it was a total loss coming into my 4 months of 10.2. So, I had hit the tens. I had hit my magic number that in all reality I never ever thought that I would do ever. So yeah, it was very exciting. So really high, like had some really high moments in the week. Lots of pinching myself, and I think, to be honest, being a little bit in shock. But the big thing that I do want to say is, being that first week that I was on the 1 milligram, holy hell, anyone who has watched my video updates up to now will know that probably one of the biggest for me issues, and side effects that I've had with Wegovy has been the nausea. And a lot of the weeks it has, I might just get it once, a few times a week when I've gone up to a higher dosage, and it was very manageable. It might just hit me for 15 minutes or so, and you just got to breathe through it, do the things that they recommend. Make sure you keep your water, maybe have some peppermint tea. For me, actually, personally, one thing that I did find was having not necessarily a whole apple, but a few bites of an apple really seemed to help ease. But that 1 milligram, holy doolies, if you're thinking about taking Wegovy, and I know everybody's very different, but from my experience, strap yourself in because it hit me. It wasn't all of the time. I definitely was still able to function, but when it would hit me, holy doolies, it was difficult. It was really difficult. But, I think it's funny. I remember having times thinking, okay, you feel so shit. You just want to go and lay down in bed, you just want to go to sleep. And, you know, but weigh that up against, do you want to continue to lose weight and be healthier, have better heart health, better joint health, all of those things. And, there really wasn't, I think I had got in my own mindset that no, I was not going to let it beat me. It didn't matter, and I think, some people around me, my family, not so much my friends, but probably my family members, I think some of them have started to think that I'm sick all the time. And like, because, just the other week I actually had the flu, and I had some comments, oh, you're sick all the time. And I said, yeah, but you've got to understand that was the flu. Previously, when I've been feeling unwell, it's because of my medication, and it's the nausea. And it's not really, but I know it's feeling unwell, but it's not really being sick. And I definitely was not going to let it get the better of me. I'm pushing through. I'm not letting it stop me. So then, that's the end of that one. And actually, the best way to describe it, if someone listening hasn't experienced nausea before, oh well, maybe you haven't experienced this neither, so maybe this won't help you. But as someone who has been pregnant and had children, when I experienced morning sickness, it was like that. And anyone who has experienced morning sickness as well knows how horrid that is. And, that very much reminded me of exactly how I felt. So then that was week 18. Then we have week 19 and 20. Now, I actually was on annual leave, so on holidays. So I didn't, I've done an updated video, which, I will pop, up if you need to, or you can pop back into my videos. And, I think it's called Wegovy on holidays. And I did make the decision to skip 1 week. We went on a cruise and I decided to miss 1 week. And actually, when we returned, because I still had like 3/4 of a week at home to enjoy the rest of my time off, I actually decided to not take that second dose as well. So I actually skipped 2 doses. And I think, as I spoke about in that video, I've had some really amazing wins, up to that 4 months. I hit my 10 kilos. You have to be real in life. And I wanted to enjoy my holidays and especially because I'd just gone up to that 1 milligram, I would have been unwell. I would have felt crap. So I'm really glad that I made that decision. And I know it's a very personal decision of what people do. And it's really funny when I've been, I'm sure, was it YouTube? I'm sure it was on YouTube when I was looking through, videos when you're just watching YouTube yourself. And I'm sure that I saw a video with an advertisement for these little coolers now for traveling with your medication and that sort of thing. So people must do it. And good luck. And that's great. And I think that's wonderful. But for me, it was the right decision to take a break, have my 2 weeks off, and, not stress. And that for me was as well, a part of it is like the mind stuff. And for those of you who have been overweight all your life, part of your life, you are struggling with, obesity or being overweight, will understand that it's not, of course, it's about the actual weight, but there's a gazillion other reasons and another million things behind that, emotionally, mentally. And the whole time through taking Wegovy, I have been very mindful of different decisions, how I think of things. Uh, you know, Even for me, hopping on the scales previously, hopping on the scales would potentially get me to obsess about my weight. But, so I have thought about that a lot when I'm, sometimes I'll find myself midweek thinking, oh, I could just hop on the scales. I could just, no, you're not. Because in the beginning, when I first started, I was weighing myself every day. And now I've backed that right off and I just do it, at that change, when it's the end of the week and my injection day, that I just weigh in that once. Because it's really important to be aware of the other things that affect you around weight and how you feel about yourself. And so I've just talked for 5 minutes just to explain that what I'm trying to get at is that it was really important for me to have my time off and have it not be focused totally around taking medication, focusing on my weight, my appearance, all of those things. And even though I didn't take those things, I drank less and I definitely ate less. And of course, the actual medication will have a part in that. But I also think, my habits have changed and, my day to day life of what I consume has changed. So I didn't need to be necessarily taking that. And I know it stays in your system, so that it definitely will have still helped me in positive decisions while I was away. But anyway, I'm rambling on. And yeah, so that is the update. The 4-month update is 4 months and 10.2 kilos. take that in. Like, that's what, 2.5 kilos each month. That's insane. Like, that is crazy. I can't believe, if you went back, I'm fairly sure my first day on the medication was the 11th of September, 2024. And if you had have said to me, fast forward 4 months and you will be hitting your 10-kilo goal, wow, I would not have believed it. So I've got a fly joining me, so I might finish up now so it doesn't annoy the crap out of you as well. And yeah, thanks for joining me for my update again. Thank you to those who have listened to me ramble on and stayed all the way to the end. It's really great to have you, and I'll look forward to seeing you at the next update. Take care. Bye.